Okay, we've hit double digits. Welcome to June Gem number 10. This is going to be called number manipulation since the last one was called text manipulation. So as you'll find as you start building out more and more workflows, you'll probably find that not only are you manipulating text, but you're also going to be doing some calculations and manipulating numbers as well. So I want to show you some examples of how you would do this. Again, just like the previous episode, we'll create actually a number of variables. First of all, we'll create a number called numResult, and we'll also create, a single line of text called text result. Okay, done. Now, first thing we're going to do is we're going to use a set variable to actually set the text, and the text I'm going to set to something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now, the other thing I want to do is have another variable. So let's actually label this set the text to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to set the number variable as well. We'll just set it to 99. Okay, let's label that one just so we know what we're doing here. Set the number to 99. Okay, now in order to do calculations with numbers, we have an action called a math operation. Now, if you drag that over here, you'll see you pretty much have a left value and a right value. Now you can type something in here, but it's unlikely that you're necessarily going to have values that you're just going to calculate by typing them in. Usually they're going to be values coming from an item property or another variable or something like that. So in order to deal with variables, we actually select workflow data. Then you'll see the two variables appear. Now I'm going to click on num. Let's see, what does that do? Interesting. Okay. We'll do a num result. And then let's say we do a plus, and we'll do, instead of that, we'll actually do 1. Okay, and we'll store the result back into num result. Now originally it's 99. We're going to add 1, so we should get 100 in the results. So we're going to use a log action to display that. Let's quickly, what we'll do is we'll do plus result, and then we'll insert reference, go to workflow variables, and there's our num result. And that's it. That's all we need to do. Publish, and we'll say number manipulation. Looks like my text has not, my typing has not improved. Number manipulation workflow, done. Okay, the workflow is published, and let's quickly run this. Just make sure that we're getting a, where are we, over here, the actual 100 that we expect in the log. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is just talk about some of the different operations we have. There you go, plus result is 100, perfect. Let's open up this math operation. Now, plus was the default one. You'll see there's a minus, there's a multiply by, divided by, and there's a mod. Now I'm going to leave mod for the viewers to look into what the mod actually does, but I have used it a number of times in the past and might do more advanced video of how to use this later on down the track. Okay, now the thing is, because it's a math operation, you're dealing with numbers, so passing in a text variable is probably not going to work, right? So if you do have some text that comes in, maybe from a CSV file, maybe it's an item property, and you happen to read it into a text variable, what can you do to convert that? So what we have is actually this, an action called convert value. So if I come over here, drag it down there, and then I'm going to click on this little insert reference button, click on my text variable, and I want to store the result in my number variable. This will actually convert the text into a number. And now you can see how you can set the culture because different values can be represented differently. For example, in some cases, a comma represents thousands, but in other countries, it could be a dot that represents thousands. So it really depends on what culture it is. I'm in the US, so I'm leaving it as is. Again, I'm going to paste that log action, and we're going to publish this and run it. So we originally had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in our text variable. Let's see what happens once we publish and run this workflow. and workflows, number manipulation, and start. Again, this is going to slowly run, and then we'll be able to look at the workflow history, and there it is. Now, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in our number variable, we can use that in any number of calculations. All right, perfect. So we've got some simple mathematical operations, how to convert text. What else can we do? Let's actually drag a build action in here and look at some of the inline functions, and some of them interact with numbers, right? So for example, let's actually, here is the max, mid, and min. These three, pretty cool. They give you which one of the numbers is the minimum, which one is the maximum, right? So again, there's just little things you can do. For those developers out there, you can actually build your own custom inline functions. So be aware of that in case you want to extend this sort of functionality. You can definitely do that. So that's one way you can manipulate numbers. Let's get out of here. Now the other thing is that min-max was pretty good in regards to text, but when you're doing any sort of conditional actions, so let's come down here. For example, the set a condition or the run if, right? You can actually go in here and you can do numerical comparisons. I'm going to go into the run if and set a condition in a couple episodes, I think. So let's actually do that. We can do something like if num result is greater than or equal to 50,000, then I want to do something. And this is really good for building out a process like, for example, an expense claim or part of the onboarding process, where if you're hiring somebody or onboarding somebody and you want to make sure that their pay, is within, or gets approved, sorry, then you could actually have, say, if the amount for this user is going to be this much per year, this salary, then we need to get HR approval. If it's more than that, we need to get CFO approval or something like that, right? And you can easily do that. Now, if these were text, you wouldn't be able to do this type of comparison, right? This numerical comparison. Okay, that was the quick version of manipulating numbers. Hopefully this is useful for you, and look forward to a future episode.